Hey friends, this is Steven. Welcome back to the channel. Got the LandCruiser behind me, but today it's a little bit of a different video. We are going to work on an emissions control check engine light error being P0453, and that's the fuel tank pressure vapor sensor high input. I've done a lot of research on this and I think I've come up with a solution that uses not only OEM parts but saves about 60% on those parts. Stick with me, all that coming up right now. The first place you want to check is really the gas cap. You want to make sure that it's properly tightened in there. In this case, this is a 2009 LandCruiser. It's older. I went ahead and replaced the gas cap. The part number is 77300-06040. And this could very well be a waste of $25, right? That's how much an OEM gas cap is going to run you, but it's certainly a lot easier to just spend the $25, pop the gas cap in there. It's a cheap way to make sure that it's not the gas cap, and it's one of the cheapest parts of the emission systems. Start there, it's easy. And if that's it, then you're done. If not, move on to the next part of the video. So a little bit different order than I normally do things. This has been sitting here about a week and I've been researching. And what I have found is that the majority of these emissions codes are going to come down to the charcoal canister. This is a component, this is basically just an air filter that helps filter the air before it comes in here and helps keep this system clean. Now, on the LandCruiser and other Toyotas, this is just sitting right above the spare tire in the back, a little bit higher than the fuel tank. And what can happen is if you like overfill your gas or the gas attendant or whatever happens, this charcoal canister can get a bunch of gas in it and that can cause codes. Not a bad design, really. The thing about this is Toyota only specifies this entire canister as one part number, and really this is just a box filled with charcoal. It's got a few filters in it. If you can't really see down there, but it's basically a box full of charcoal pellets, and then there's a filter, and that's really it as far as the charcoal box. Most of the componentry is actually on this little sub-assembly here. This has the vapor pressure sensor, the pump that pulls the vacuum for running the test, and one more, I think, a purge valve in there that controls what opens and what doesn't. This box is going to cost you about $600 from Toyota, and if you look it up for a LandCruiser, there's no way to buy this component separate from this component. But what I found when I pulled this out, and I cleaned this all up because I was checking for any cracks or anything like that that might cause this to leak, I don't see any, is this component actually has a Toyota part number that you probably can't see, but it's on there. So, being the person that I am and not wanting to replace just a simple box filled with charcoal pellets, I did some research and I found that this component you can buy separately. It's not listed for the LandCruiser and it actually says it doesn't fit. So we're going to take a little bit of risk because this box, about $600, this box is about $200. So here is the replacement part. Looks pretty darn close to me. I think it's worth the risk to replace that, and that number has been superseded by this number, 90910-AF005. If you look up that number, you will see all sorts of Toyotas that this works on, everything from Camrys, Corollas, Tundras, Sequoias, pretty much everything. The LandCruiser, they only want to sell you this whole thing. I don't know why, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna just swap this box on there. The canister's good, put it back up there and see what happens. And I'm pretty sure, considering the vapor pressure sensor is what's in here, that will fix our P0453. No other codes. I drove this for like 2 weeks with that code, kept resetting it, kept coming up consistently, just that one code. No other leaks. I mean, the hoses are getting a little old. This is a 2009 after all, with 170, probably 75,000 miles now. But we're gonna swap this part on and see if we can save ourselves some money. Again, OEM parts, made in Japan. I don't know why they don't list this separate from the canister for the LandCruiser, but we're gonna give it a go. So this part comes off with just 3 10mm bolts. One there, one one there, and then you have just one vacuum line that just comes right off. So since I only have the one handheld camera, I'm going to go ahead and take those out, attach the new one, and I'll show you, let you know if it fits. Okay, so I have the old assembly off. You can see the 1, 2, 3 holes in the vacuum there. But what I wanted to show was you can see this filter material in there. You want to make sure that that is still intact. If you find that that's broken and you've got charcoal coming out of that thing, this isn't going to be the solution for you. You will have to replace that assembly. This is just, obviously you want to check this whole assembly here, make sure there's no cracks, breaks, anything like that. But if this is all good, this will be a solution that will save a lot of money. Okay, so far so good. Bolted up those 3 bolts, 1 vacuum line, absolutely no problem. Everything lined up perfectly. Here's the old one. There's really no serviceable way to check out what might be wrong with this. I have seen videos where people cut this metal clamp that holds this together, and the little electric motor for the vacuum pump is all corroded, or there's various things, but unfortunately not really a serviceable piece. But at least, hey, we're not having to replace the whole canister. So this is on there. Next step is just bolting this back up under the LandCruiser. One thing I do want to show real quick, it's a little easier while this is out, is these hoses connect using a couple O-rings in there. Let's see if you can see the blue one in there, and those just slide right over these connectors, and then it's got this little lip in here. This is a lot like if you've ever taken apart a fuel line, a high pressure fuel line off a fuel rail. It's got these. So when you get down under there, these will be snapped in these grooves. And to get those out, you can see these little hooks on the end there. It's gonna just flash for you. There you go. The little hooks on the end there, you just have to press those in and then kind of wedge this out. So it's gonna be in there like this. You press those in, and then you use a little flathead screwdriver to just pull those out. Once that's out, that releases off this little ledge here, and you can pull these hoses right off. So they make it seal really well. You got O-rings here. This had an O-ring there, and then you've got your standard tubes. If you're getting, a code that's like a low leak code, it's probably one of these tubes. This is just I think the vent, but it could be like a tube like this, or possibly that vacuum tube that goes to the tank. So check your tubes out, make sure they're okay. These are, they're not great, but they weren't leaking before, and I'm just gonna put them back up there. And if I cause a leak by tinkering with this stuff, I'll know. It'll throw me a code. It'll be a different code. Like I said, we're trying to fix P0453, which is the fuel pressure sensor that's in that module right there. So just thought I'd show this real quick. A little harder to film once it's up under the car, but I will go ahead and show you once I have everything back up in there how everything goes. All right, we're all installed. We've got the one hose connected there with the green clip, the other one connected with the green clip, wire harness, the one clamp on the hose back there, and then that filter is up right there. A little hard to see, but it tucks up under there. And that's basically it. So 3 bolts for the actual canister, one on this end, one over there, and then 1 bolt for that little filter. That's it. 4 little bolts, a couple of hose connectors, and you're pretty well set. I mean, it takes longer to raise and lower the spare tire that you have to remove, but that's it. So we're gonna start this up and see what happens. Hey friends, fast forward a week later, I've put about 400 miles on the LandCruiser, stop and go traffic, highway driving, code is gone. So if you're getting emissions codes, and it looks like it's gonna be the canister for 600, try replacing just that module for 200. And again, always try the gas cap first. So success story here, I hope this helps you out. And until next time, thanks for watching, take care.